guys, so we're going to start off by doing the claw clip, and then I'm going to use the same skills for the keychain. So first I started off by doing a regular slip knot because I'm going to create a magic ring, and this is just my easier way of doing it, but you can create a magic ring however you create it. I just usually create a slip knot and then flip it over. So within that slip knot, you're going to yarn over and then make a chain of 1, just so you have a starting base for your single crochet. After that chain 1, we're going to start doing 10 single crochets into the same magic loop. These 10 single crochets are going to work as the center of our flower, and it's going to determine how many petals you have. So once you have all 10 single crochets done, you can go ahead and take out your hook. And this is the satisfying part. You're just going to pull the string of the magic loop and close it all together. So once that's done, you're going to insert your hook back into the loop that you left off. And then we're just going to slip stitch into the first stitch just to close off the center of the flower. Once that's done, you can just cut that off. And then what I'm going to do to make it easier for me to weave the ends in is just tie both of the ends together. So next, you're going to go in with your color of choice. I personally wanted pink flowers because spring is coming up and I just love pink. So you're going to take your new yarn and loop it in whichever loop that you want to. I just looped it in the same loop that I closed off. And then I'm showing how I'm weaving the ends in as I'm going because I don't want to go back and have to weave in too many ends. So to start off our petals, we're going to start with 3 chains into whichever loop you started in. Then within that same loop that you're working into, we're going to work a double crochet, but instead of automatically looping into 2, we're going to pull it up to match the length of the 3 chains and then pull through 2, and then yarn over, go again into that same loop, pull to the top, and then pull through 2, and do the same thing one more time. Yarn over, go through the same loop, pull to the top, and then pull through 2. At this point, you should have 4 loops on your hook. So next, we're going to work into the next stitch and do the same thing. Yarn over, put through the next stitch, yarn over again, pull through the top to match the other ones, and then pull through 2, yarn over, go in the same loop, pull through the top, pull through 2, and we're doing this a total of 3 times in every stitch that we work with, including the one where you start with 3 single chains. So after that's done 3 times, you should have 7 loops on your hook. Once you have all 7, you're going to yarn over and then pull through all 7 loops on your hook. So you're now going to follow that up with a chain of 3. Once that's done, you're going to insert that chain with a slip stitch back into the same loop that you worked into. And that's how we do our first petal. So the process basically continues. You chain 3, yarn over, work into the next stitch, and pull up, yarn over again, and do that 3 times. So once you have all 7 again, you're going to pull through all 7 and then chain 3 and do the same as we did earlier with slip stitching. And that's how we end up with 2 petals on our flower. So after you've completed the process for a total of 5 times, you should have 5 petals on your stem, which should look something like a flower, as you can see. And I'm ending it off with a slip stitch as I did for the other petals. I also went ahead and pulled the yarn up and cut it just to finish off the flower. And this is how your flower should look like. It's so cute. And then you're going to go ahead and make a total of 6 of these for your claw clip. So now working on the leaf, I'm using green yarn. This is actually kind of optional, but I did want to add leaf just to make it look a little cuter. And I start off with a slip knot and insert my hook. So you're going to go ahead and chain 6 for this leaf. Once you have your chain of 6, we're going to start working into the next chain after you turn your work over. And the series is basically, the first chain starts with a single crochet. The next chain starts with a half double crochet. Then you work a full double crochet. Follow that up with a half double crochet. And then finally, you're going to slip stitch into the last remaining chain. So this should give you kind of a gradual pattern that resembles a leaf. And to make it look even more like a leaf, I took the hanging thread from the slip knot and inserted it into the loop that I had from the slip stitch. And then you just pull that together and you have your leaf. I made a total of 4 leaves for both sides of the flowers. And you can also go in and weave your ends in, which is what I did off camera. So for this part, you can honestly save yourself the heartache. I just didn't want to use glue in case I ever wanted to detach the flowers for whatever reason or wash them. but I decided to attach these flowers to the claw clip by using yarn and tying them together, but the easier way would just be using a hot glue gun. It solves so many problems. But I'm just showing here how I attach them with yarn in case you're someone who also doesn't want to use glue. I basically cut off little yarn pieces like this and inserted them where the flowers connected and just tied them together. It was as simple as that. And make sure you tie it around like 3 times. I only show myself tying it once because it took a while, but you want to make sure they're secure or else, they're going to fall off. So that's what I'm showing here. But if you use glue, you can obviously skip this step. It just makes your life easier. And here, once I attach all the flowers together, I'm attaching the leaves, and I thought it was best to do this last, just to make sure I liked how the flowers were aligned before I added the leaves. So once you have this, I went ahead and weaved the ends in off camera to make it look clean, and this is how both sides look together. So then I went ahead and attached the same collection of flowers on one side and kind of did it the same way that I connected the flowers together because, as I said, I didn't want to use glue. So what I did was insert the yarn piece into the tops and bottoms of the flowers and then simply tied it to the openings of the claw clip. So once I finished that, I went ahead and cut off the loose threads just to make it look cleaner. And this was the finished claw clip. I'm actually so happy with how it turned out. It's so cute. And if you want to do the keychain, it's the exact same flower that we made. And instead of just adding 1 leaf, I wanted to add 2. So just as I attach the leaf onto the claw clip, I did it the same way with the keychain. Except I tried to make this one look a little bit cleaner because both sides are visible. However, I'm using it now and most of the time the good side is visible. But anyways, once I tied the leaf on, I made sure to weave in my edges so it was clean. And this is how the flower turned out. I also had a keychain hook that I ordered off of Amazon. I think it was a pack of 50 for like $5. But here's the finished keychain. It's so cute. And here's both of them together.